Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Let's Talk Battle Rap Podcast, where from the womb to the tomb, you can presume the unpredictable. Today, we are live with my main man, France, and my miggity main man, Titus, aka Country Bumpkin. All right. LTBR Podcast, the number one podcast for news, stats, and facts and information on the internet. Also, we are the number one battle rap podcast on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, and that couldn't be done without you guys. So once again, log on to letstalkbattlerap.com. Follow us on all socials at LTBR Podcast. Enough of me. Let's get to the show. France, you are in ATL with Titus. We are live. Bags and Bodies weekend. Talk to me, player.
Reporting live from ATL. You know what I'm saying? ATL, ho.
ATL?
ATL, ho.
ATL. It's not if you're an artist and you don't get an ATL ho chant at your concert, you didn't have a good concert.
Oh man, that's how it
That's
is.
facts. Yeah, if ATL ho chant no breakout, you didn't do a great show. You come back, try again.
Hey, you know the
unless you're a Christian, then we don't say ho in the Christian concerts.
What y'all say? What's the Christian word for ho?
We don't have one. We don't.
Yes,
have
you
one.
do.
I just say ho. I just say ho personally. That's my personality view is gonna be
hilarious. Player, man.
Great.
Talk to me, man. It's Bags and Bodies weekend. France, how was the flight down there? How was everything?
Flight was smooth. You know what I'm saying? First class Spirit flight, huh?
Oh,
all right. There's no such thing as first class in Spirit. It's a joke.
I was about to say, there is no first class in this. My man said Spirit. I was like, wait a minute, they got first class on Spirit. Well, they don't got no burglar bar gates on the windows in the front.
It's just extra leg room sitting up close. That's all it is. But they got Wi-Fi now. Shout out to them. Finally, it's about damn time. You know what I'm saying?
Get your tweets off in the air.
After the event, you know, when you're ATL, you got to hit the Waffle House. And I got to say, no fights at the Waffle House today. So it's a successful night.
Ooh, I know you were disappointed. Fred's like, we trying to go viral, baby.
Smooth Waffle House evening, man.
Sweet, man.
Yeah. No, but Bags and Bodies was a success. You know what I'm saying? Salute to Hitman Holla for having us be a part of it again. He shows a lot of love to us. And from the first time we came to the auditions and judged it, shit, man, he's been wanting me to be a part of Bags and Bodies more. It was a 2-day event. And I couldn't stay both days. They asked me to stay in the mansion. I don't got 6 weeks of PTO available to just live in the mansion. And after seeing the season, I don't think I want to live with y'all in the mansion. I'll come for a weekend. You know what I'm saying? I pulled for a weekend just to say I did it, just to see what it's like to be around all y'all hooligans. Right. You know what I'm saying? But this time around was interesting because we had the money on the floor concept, free the wave. How ironic, we had a money on the floor battle on Sue Surf's birthday. Happy birthday,
man!
Surf.
Happy belated birthday to Sue Surf.
Happy belated Surf, for real.
Get up out that situation, player, man. The game needs you. Your family needs you too.
Yeah, man. So all of the contestants still battling. Obviously, we had everybody that was from season 1, Bags and Bodies, but we had a lot of people that want to be a part of season 2. So this is kind of like their battle to say, hey, if I win this battle, put me in that mansion at season 2. And some people from Bags and Bodies season 1 defended the crown. Some didn't. And we're gonna get into
was it an automatic in if they defeat the person that's in season 1? Was it an automatic win for that person?
Yeah, that was the wager. That was the wager.
It's a lot on the line and the money on the floor.
That's right. Nice. That is right. Yeah, man. So should we get started with the card? You want to? What's the word? You want to hear about?
Yeah, let's do it, player.
You want to hear about the setting before we got there?
People know about everything, big dog. You know what I'm saying? The setting, the ambiance, the folks in there. Let's give them the behind the scenes, the play-by-play.
All right, let's start with this, right? I pull up the same time Titus does, and I see him in the corner. We're like, yeah. And so we chilling, walking around, seeing who's around. We see this familiar. And we look across from us, and we see a red jacket, red beard, Caucasian fella. And I'm like, A-Ward didn't tell me he was coming here. And we're like, I'm not sure that's not A-Ward. Like he's very far away from us. And I'm like, I talk to Ward often. Like he would have told me he was coming here. Why didn't he tell me he was coming? Closer we get, we're like, oh, it's none. Hey, what up, none?
Oh,
You know what I'm saying?
Best friend. That's right. He's down with the Bash Money movement, right? He's down with
He
the
rocks
Bash Money
them.
movement,
Rocks
isn't he?
them.
Yeah. I saw them
He
supporting
rocks
him at one of the events. Yeah. Oh snap!
Yeah,
You
so
know,
that was
well,
cool.
I saw none. Automatically, I'm thinking he should be approaching him. He come on the left side. Oh, I started coaching him. So I just sit back like, oh, I don't know about this, friends. Friends about to get crazy, friends.
I saw him. I was like, oh, is he gonna come talk to me? No. All right. Okay. I guess not.
Hilarious. So, did y'all speak?
I spoke to none.
Okay, yeah. Everything's smooth.
Oh.
It's always smooth with you, man.
He didn't speak to me. I don't know what happened.
He does he know you though, Titus?
I mean, on Twitter he does apparently.
Come on, man. Twitter in real life is different, man. You got to go, hey, man, what's up? I'm Titus from Let's Talk Battle Rap. You know what I'm saying? I'll be dropping slick jabs at you on the spaces. You know what I mean? And then going back.
Oh, he knew that already. Yeah, that's why I can't see his tweets now.
Listen, man. All right. So see, you were there in person, right? But you gotta approach the person and be like, hey, what's up, man? I'm Titus. You know what I'm saying, from LTBR. You know it ain't nothing personal, player. How you? You know what I mean? And then he'll be like, I ain't like what you said. You be like, well, hey, man, this is why I said what I said, but it's all respect. And then there'll be a handshake and keep it moving, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I honestly would have if I had more time. I didn't see him.
If I had more time, I was just at the event for 4 hours, but I didn't have no time.
I didn't see him inside the venue. I didn't see him in the venue at all. I saw him outside, but I didn't see him inside the venue. So I was like, oh, I don't know where he went. Yeah, I never saw him again. But yeah,
but hey, at least y'all were there. You know what I'm saying? So this is a prime example. You know what I mean? For the media people who don't go to events and who just talking that ish all day long, like, you know, you show face, at least you could stand on your words, you know what I'm saying, and be a man about it instead of just like talking and never showing up and just like saying egregious, like ridiculous statements, knowing that you'll never ever have to stand on them. So Titus, I'm proud of you, man. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, man.
I'm proud of you, bro.
Appreciate
you know
it. Yeah. Outside
you
game.
are a stealth bomber, man. You find like that quiet time where no one says something and you just whoosh, and then you be like, what he said? You be like, well, have you missed it?
Over the head. Yeah, you catch it. I don't repeat it. It's like Easter eggs.
Man, I'll be hearing you.
See it one time.
You be wilding sometimes. Sometimes you gotta slow down.
No, I do. I'm like, I've been trying to get in that mode this year. I'm trying. Let me relax a little bit more than I normally do. It's the spaces, man. The spaces make it easy to just throw a joke out there and leave. There's so many opinions. It's like, all right.
So none. Yeah, all right. Yeah, I see none.
Yeah. See some of the other people in media. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Tata, staff reporter LTBR, pulls up.
Yes, Tata.
Yeah, the
always in the building, man. Doing great work.
Our boy Ryan from the Spaces was in the building. He pulled up on us.
Yo, I gotta say, man,
I did not know Ryan.
You didn't know Ryan? What?
I didn't know Ryan was that tall.
Yeah, Ryan.
He sound like he used to be an old lineman or something, man. I want to salute Ryan, yo. Ryan is one of my favorite personalities. Like once he started, he'd be like, "Hey, man, you know, the real down south Georgia boy here. You know, I'm gonna talk my talk, man." You know, he just be he like, "Hey, I ain't interrupt you when you were talking, man. Let me talk." He's just a real down south Georgia boy with real opinions. You know what I'm saying? No extra, no cuts. And I really appreciate hearing his voice on air, man. So I'm glad y'all got a chance to link up, man.
Yeah, Ryan,
that's a real dude, man.
Ryan brought me a nice gift. Yeah, Ryan brought me a nice gift. You know,
you ain't gotta talk about it. What's understood ain't got to be said.
All right.
Ain't gotta talk about all they fault is shouted.
So when we're there, it's like 6:00, and we're like, all right, show should be starting soon. Everybody's like, yeah, Hitman ain't here yet. We're like, oh boy. And then all of a sudden, you see a Mercedes pull up. We're like, oh, right, it's time. The show
has, man, Mercedes-Benz told me it was $140,000 to get the AMG off the showroom floor. He gonna pull up
He
in that
did it.
thing every time, bro, for sure.
Facts.
Yes. So we got in. They got everybody situated really fast. It was about, what do you say, Titus? About a little over 100 people there.
Yeah, I say about that. Yeah,
Nice.
over 100.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So we get situated pretty quickly.
Yeah, we got in
Judges
the
get
venue real
settled.
quick.
My favorite part about this. Let me tell you this. This is my favorite part. So, I was in talks with Chef Trez because Chef Trez was asked to be a judge for this. So Hitman's like, oh, keep me in touch if Trez can make it. I'm talking to Trez. He's not that far from the venue, but he just couldn't pull up today because personal reasons. I don't want to explain. And so we're down to judge. And Knowledge walks in the building, and the Hitman's like, hey, can you judge? And I was like, yeah. it was like in 5 seconds, done. Why not? And so they got dead ass talk, Knowledge, and myself judging these battles. 3 media members. I was like, okay, interesting. All right. Like, no, normally John comes, he's a judge. Vixen will come, she's a judge. So like, this is like an all media panel judging. So I was like, all right, this could very much make or break us today. So let's see what's going on.
They're gonna be like, "Look, poor ass media."
A lot was on the line.
A lot
was on the line.
France sweating, boy. I see our first deliberation. France sweating, boy.
He hated it.
Yeah, man. A little bit, man. Like, I'll be honest, man. I don't really like the.
I heard a lot of.
Because, yeah, I mean, you guys know I'm gonna be transparent. I get anxiety all the time when I'm asked to judge. Like I respect that the rappers and the leagues that want me to judge like value my opinion, and everybody respects my articulate breakdowns. But I gotta keep it a buck. Like on the way to the venue, thinking about it, like it just has anxiety, man. Like there is real financial implications now to your opinion, and sometimes I just don't like being in that position.
Yeah, that's the thing, man. Like a lot of times when it's just regular battles, it's like, yeah, this guy won, whatever, but when it's like money on the line and a chance to get into the crib and all that stuff, it's like you got to really pay attention and do your job. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Facts. Yeah. France had the notes app open, writing bars down. That was cool to see though, because I'd be like, how are we writing bars down in the middle of the bars? I can't do it. It's why I never put myself in a position to judge. It's like, I don't know how to remember how to track all these bars, because I'll be forgot and just come with the regular. Yeah, I think he won, and I have no bars to go with, and like that's why I said it out.
Plus, it's one thing when you just on air or it's the day after and you got a chance to watch the battles, but when you're live and then the camera's on you and Avocado's looking at you and you got to give your deliberation and that there's thousands of people sitting around watching this thing, it's a different feel than just judging the battle from your crib going, oh yeah, I got this guy winning or whatever. Like it's a different type of pressure, man. So salute to you, friends, man, for stepping up, you know what I'm saying? And then and going through them anxiety attacks, you know what I mean? You ain't get all zanny out just to do it. So salute, brother.
Yeah, it was a good learning experience as a media person. Like, let me see how somebody judges the battle, how they handle when they judge in the battle. Oh, the notes. Okay. And then I always say that it's not the decision that bothers people, it's the reasonings for the decision. And France gave those real explanations.
Yeah, that he did, man. I was like, look at my boy flexing that college education.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? 4 years, shouted 4 years, not no 2 year, boy.
Right.
Little ugly ass diploma out of here, boy.
Yeah, I did get a couple texts from some of our peers in media that were watching the event live, and two different people said the exact same message to me, which was interesting. They were saying, "Yo, you just told the battler in front of them that you think they got 30 with so much poise, like that." It doesn't happen. Like a lot of media doesn't tell these guys this to their face like this. You know what I'm saying? So like I almost feel like they're of course they're not happy with the verdict, but they like have to respect it because it's like I'm not on Skype doing this. I'm like in your face. But nonetheless,
it's a
first battle of the night. Roc Lee and Blue Coca. You know what I'm saying? Sets it off, and I talked about it already.
She changed her name, right?
To Blve Diamond. That's why I seen on the flyer, Blve Diamond, but she still said, said Blue Coca, like weird logistics. Okay. Titus, what did you think of Roc Lee and what you think of Roc Lee and Blue? And did you see Roc Lee and Blue as well, Vlad?
I did not see that battle, France.
All right, so I'll let Titus kick it off because I definitely judge it. So
Yeah, man. I was very interested in that battle. I picked Blue going into it. Like, she hasn't been outside in a minute. So I feel like she might be loaded up. You know, she might have a real statement to make coming back. She was good. I thought Blue did a good job, man. It's just you could tell she kind of ring rush. She fell for the time. Okie doke. She's like, oh, it's gonna be 2 minutes. No, it's not, girl. Girl, no, it's not. It's not gonna be 2 minutes. You know what I'm saying? But Roc Lee, man, Roc elevated. That's the best Roc Lee I've seen. She had some slick bars in there. Her performance was better. Everything about her was just on point from all aspects. Like, she really made a statement. I'm like, okay, she raised her floor last night, and that's her new standard now. It's like, okay, I see you, Roc. This is where you at now. This is your new level. This is what you got to match, what you got to reach every time. So yeah, I was super impressed with Roc Lee. Shout out to Blue Cocaine. She did a good job. Our Blue Diamond Cocaine Diamond. She did a good job, man. She's got to stay outside, stay in the field a little more, get more active. But not Roc Lee raised her floor last night. Like, she stays on that pace, she's gonna be a problem for sure. Somebody to watch. I think this is officially her first year of rapping.
Yeah,
I think she said that.
Yeah, next month. Next month she completes a full year of rapping. So like proceeding for the rest of the year, this would be like her sophomore year as a battler. And I remember when she came out of the spaces and started battling in person, like I battle. And I was just like, yo, I can't wait to see what this blossoms into, because obviously from hearing her during the space battles, she had talent. She definitely could write. She had good bars. And Titus used to tell me, like, yo, just be patient, man. This is somebody fresh off of like battling virtually to battling in person. I'm like, bet, we got to give it a couple years for her to really like season into something. And that performance, you saw like a more seasoned version of her. And I did get a chance to have a post-game interview with her, and I asked her, like, what are you doing to enhance your performance? Because obviously, like, the potency of your bars just comes with experience, being motivated, studying the game. Like, anybody can step their pen up with the right mindset or like the right practice, right? But the physical nature of projecting better, delivering better, knowing when to not overperform, like all that takes commitment. So like, I asked her, what are you doing? And she's been committed to her growth, and she gave Hitman Holla a lot of praise because being around him has just like sharpened her skill set. So
yeah, I saw a clip of her on Twitter.
Told her, now this is your floor.
Yeah, I saw a clip of her on Twitter, and I was impressed, man. Like, she looked like she's been doing this for a while, and especially for her going up against Cocaine Diamond. And we've seen her step her game up tremendously. Remember, France, a couple years ago, she had a battle, and it was like, all right, this is cool. It was more like novice like, and then all of a sudden, like, the next battle she came back, she was a lyrical wizard, and I was like, how does someone make a leap like that crazy? You know what I mean? Like, it was ridiculous. It's like they went from a level 4 to like a level 8.5 in one battle, and it was like, what? This is nutty. So I guess I would have been expecting a little bit more, man. But for Roc Lee, you got to figure she was in that house around all of these rappers, basically in battle rap boot camp and in training camp, and being around one of the best all time. I'm glad to see that she used her time wisely, that she was able to, expand that toolkit, and especially coming off of all of this controversy that she's just been embroiled in for the past month, to be able to stay focused and to be able to, sprinkle it in throughout the battle, but still not get too crazy and stuff. Like, she's able to rise to the occasion after all of that, because we all know all eyes will be on you, especially after what happened, because the culture is going to be on you when you embroil in some bullshit, shouty. You know what I mean? So it's like, when that happens and you're able to take full hey Bunkin, man, your mic crazy, shouty. Your mic crazy, shouty.
Did it stop?
There we go. Yeah, stop.
Okay.
So for her to take full advantage of that and rise to the occasion after all of that, because the culture will be watching you when some nonsense and tomfoolery is going on. So for you to have a battle that shortly after that and deliver, kudos to you, Roc Lee. Much props.
Yeah, big salute to Roc Lee. Like I said to her yesterday, this is now your floor. Like, anything less than this is now going to be considered like, I've seen better versions of her. So it's a good threshold to hold for yourself, and I'm looking forward to see where she takes it from here. And for Blue, I'll say this much: you fell for the rope with dope. Everybody always agrees to these time limits. No one ever calls time. Like just overwrite. Having more never hurts, just in case. Yeah.
Big K gonna make sure that you rap right at the time limit, and he gonna rap under that bitch, man.
and I'll be honest, it never looks good on camera when he does that, but he's in his right to do that. He's in his right to do so. And because we've just been like, we have this practice of leagues never enforcing the time limits, like fend for yourself, man. You know what I'm saying? What they say in boxing, keep your hands up at all times, right? Like,
yeah,
don't put that joint down.
But let me ask you a question
ladies,
though.
You know
if someone is underwriting in every battle, like consistently, but like a minute and stuff like that, should something be done about that?
I feel like in a judge situation.
Go ahead, Titus.
My bad. I feel like in a judge situation, time limits need to be more strict for sure. Because there's things on the line, like there's real things on the line. Money, spots in the house. Like I feel like you gotta have some strict enforcement with time limits in those situations. In one of these regular battles, enforce it if you want. If you don't. I don't, it's whatever. But I just feel like we have to normalize people not getting mad at what the contract doing what they're contracted to do.
Right. Because see, France, you're saying that she fell for the okie doke, right? But it's money on the line and a chance to get into the house. And the time, and if they agree to 2 minutes and her opponent is rapping way over 2 minutes, like
so you either do the
is it up to her at that? It shouldn't be up to the organizers to call time at that point?
Listen, I agree with you, Vlad. I've always been pro enforced time limits. It's just at this point in time, we just don't have like official timekeepers and league owners. Like when they're there hosting, like so much is happening that they're not able to just to keep focus on the clock for them for the ladies, I should say. And so when that happens and you see your opponents going 3-4 minutes and you got 2:30, it's either your job to pack some more material in case they clipped up without you realizing they be clipped up, or scream out time. You know what I'm saying?
See, I don't agree with the having extra clipped up material, because that's a chance for you to like slip up. Because if you know you're 2 minutes hardcore, and then you're like, all right, I got this extra 30 to a 1 minute thing, but you may not be as secure in it. Now, if you stumble, slip up, or whatever past that 2 minute time that you were obligated to, they're gonna be like, oh, you choked, you lost the round automatically.
Hey, so then you had to hit them with the what Serious Jones said? 3 minutes is up, dog. Okay, 3 minutes is up, dog. And Mook just keep rapping. He's like, bugga, 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 bugga. Like it might be annoying on camera. It might not look good for you, but if that's what it takes, like,
I'm sorry, man. Money on the line and a chance to get into the crib and to be on the show. We stick it to them time limits. I'm gonna have a stopwatch. I'm gonna just show it to the camera. That's it, yo.
That's not a bad idea, neither. It's not a bad idea. But second battle of the night, Banxx the God versus Dolla. This one you did watch, right, Vlad?
I did. Yeah, I did see parts of it. Yeah.
Well, from the parts that you've seen, you don't have to give a verdict, but what did you think from some of the parts you've seen? And then
I missed the second round, so I'll say that I missed the second round. I had some daddy duties I was obligated to go do. My man took a nasty one, and I was like, bruh, get up off of me. Let me go change this diaper. You know what I'm saying? So I did miss the second round. But from the first round, I felt like Dolla was taking a little second to take off. You know what I mean? And I was just like, this guy's a little slow. He seems a little not slow, like mentally slow, just like the time limit of it was just like, all right, let's pick up the pace. Let's get to it. And I felt like his delivery was just not timid, but just like not aggressive enough. Not that everybody has to be rah, rah, rah and Busta Rhymesy and all that stuff, but I was like, okay, man, maybe he's a little nervous. Maybe he's trying to feel out the room or something like that. Maybe he's just getting some angst out. And as opposed to Banxx, Banxx been in the crib, you know what I'm saying? He's bigger man, more boisterous, voice carries a lot more. So, that just becomes obvious in the first round. Second round, I missed. Third round, I thought my man Dolla, he was doing his thing, man. He was going in. And Banxx, you fumbled that pack in the third, bro. Like, you was all over the place. you was DJing your own bars, man, going back and repeating them and losing your place. And I'm just like, this is an automatic L right here. So obviously it's going to come down to the second round, which I did not see. But Titus, how did you call this battle?
Yeah, I liked it. I mean, it was cool watching Dolla. Like the beginning of his first round was interesting because, like, are you rapping? Oh, he's rapping now. Okay. I didn't know that. I didn't know the round started. I'm sorry. So it's like it takes a minute to get adjusted the way he's doing. I think it took him like a minute and a half in his first to really get going. Honestly, it was like, okay, now I see what's going on here. His content was overwhelming. There's definitely things he can work on, but content wise, he has had a lot. And Banxx had the template of what you need to beat somebody who's coming with strictly content, but he didn't have enough of the content to do it. So it's like you're doing all the good battle rapper template things, but you gotta up the content a little bit in this kind of battle because Dolla's content was just overwhelming to me. So yeah, I think Banxx took that kind of clean. Dolla took that kind of clean. He's the talk of the internet right now. Yeah, he's talking internet right now. Banxx. Yeah, man, it's just you gotta up the content at a certain point. You have to. Dolla's content was overwhelming. If he fixes his delivery, his timing, his pacing, he can be a real problem. Because people love the southern accent. It's in right now in battle rap.
Cheat code, boy.
The movement is starting.
Oh no, man. We're not gonna. I seen what happened in hip hop.
Oh man!
Once the South got a hold of it, oh my goodness!
Yeah.
Like there's been
That's
some
right.
good stuff that came from the South, but whoo, been a lot of. We don't need to go there right now. We're gonna focus on the battle raps. We'll have a hip hop conversation another day about what the South did to rap. You know what I mean? But
our battle rap run, the battle rap South run is approaching.
No, it's not, man. We will never have it. All right, it's not gonna happen. Okay,
it's time.
No, it's not time. All right, we will never, ever.
Why we don't get a run?
Do what they did to battle rap. What they did in hip hop, boy. It's not gonna happen. Not on my
save
watch.
It.
Not
on
Smack's watch. Save it. Oh my goodness.
That's right.
Could you imagine, France, if what the South did to hip hop, they did to battle rap? Like it would.
Wouldn't that be great?
All my Southern folks that are listening right now. It's no disrespect to you guys. You guys do have some incredible artists from the South. UGK, Outkast, T.I., all the other guys that you have from the South. You have some great artists, David Banner. But man, as a whole and as a wave, there's been a lot of nonsense that has come from the South, and it has just dominated for 2 decades now. I'm a little over it, man. You know what I mean? So I refuse to watch battle rap go in that direction. Refuse. Send all your hate mail to let's talk battle rap at gmail.com.
Get on board.
And France will answer them, not I.
That's how it goes. But I'll be honest, I think this Titus was being very in particular to the attendance in the venue. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Banxx has begun.
Listen, man, Dolla's delivery and lack of projection made it a little hard for me to follow certain times because I was just like, yo, where did the rhyme start? Like his first round started with like him talking, shouting people out. It sounded like a slogan, but I'm like, wait, he started his round. Like I wasn't drawn in, and I was trying to focus and listen. I felt like I had to squint to listen for a minute, and
it's like when Titus is talking.
No, but Titus isn't trying to rhyme words and go at a fast pace.
Like, if I squint, I can hear him better.
So I'm like squinting, listening, and then I start to I'm like, oh, okay, Dolla has some really good content. And if you notice at one point of the battle in the second round, Hustle like leaned over to him and like just said something. And after whatever he said to him, he probably told him to turn up. Because after that moment on, Dolla's turned up. Like he upped his, I want to say projection, but he definitely raised the volume a bit more, right? Like he's like it wasn't enough to like just encapsule the room, but it was definitely much more empowering than his first round. The content was,
Right.
in my opinion, the second round was better than his first round. And Banxx is just like, this was complete fundamentals versus content. But like when you're that fundamentally sound, you got to have some concrete potent material for us to latch on to. You know what I'm saying? You're able to create a moment, you're able to rebuttal, you're able to you're able to have a loud bass and be thunderous in the room, but none of that matters if the bars ain't there. I'm not saying he had no bars. I'm just saying they weren't enough to overshadow the content that Dolla's presented.
Right. And you got to be clean. Let's admit it. That third round just wasn't clean at all. So
Yes.
let's say he did have fire content. He brought it back so many times that there's no way that you could have given him that third round anyway. So got to be clean, man.
Yeah. Definitely fumbled that back. I'm not gonna lie. So salute to them. $1,000 on the line. Both the first two battles were $1,000 on the line. But now the money starts to increase, Vlad. The money starts to increase. And this is where becoming a judge gets a little bit more difficult. We had Yogi the God versus Hustle. And I want to ask you that you get a chance to watch Yogi the God versus Hustle.
I did see this battle. I saw this battle in its entirety. I thought it was a dope ass battle, man. You know, Hustle coming off of his Midnight Madness success, Yogi the God coming off his Bags and Body success. I was like, okay, now we cooking. Now we cooking with some olive oil. This is the one that our ears are gonna perk up for. And I thought it was a great display of lyricism versus overall battle rap 101, right? To me, Yogi came out the gate. He won the coin toss. He won the coin toss and elected to go first. Boom, bombing, right? A lot of alliteration, a lot of multis, a lot of like repetitive style, but you know, he was on point. He was on it. He was definitely flexing that pen. First round goes to Hustle, and it's funny. I text France. I was like, France, man, like this first round from Hustle, it sounds like template rap. It sounds like the words that are being used, the phrases that are being used are like common in many people's rhymes. Like if we're just going just based off of words that are being used, my ears are going to go towards Yogi because he's grabbing things, you know, from his vocabulary that, you know, that are less common in the raps. You know what I'm saying? So so when I'm listening to Hustle, it's like, all right, these raps could be coming from anyone. Like, you know what I mean? And it wasn't like the punchlines were just through the roof where it was like, oh my God, like this is just amazing. It wasn't like he was landing haymakers, you know, with them. It's like when Ease raps, it's like he's not picking the biggest words in the world, but man, he's putting them together and landing some bombs when he does, you know? So the first round I gave to Yogi. Second round, you know, Yogi's doing more of the same, you know what I mean? Like a lot of repetitive style rhyming, using the same, you know, letters and styles and stuff like that, rhyming within rhymes and stuff, like a lot of lyrical wizardry, a lot of lyrical miracle stuff. But the second round, we go to Hustle, and I'm like, oh, man's turns up. Now you're coming with the punchlines. Now you're coming with stuff that's making me scrunch my face up. Now I'm like, all right, maybe the first round was like, let me feel this out. Let me just get this done. But second round, step this game up. If this was boxing, it's like, you know what? Now he's hitting Yogi with a lot of body shots. Yogi's starting to drop that arm. He's coming, boom, tapping his chin. And I had it 1-1. Then going into the third, I'm like, Yogi is dope. But I'm like, oh, it's like almost the same round each round. You feel me? But you know, us as being pros in this game and then watching battles for so long, you're still listening, you're still tuned in. Dope, solid round, does his thing. And then I'm like, all right, but the door was left open. That's how I felt. I'm like, the door is left open. This wasn't like a closer round where I'm like, how is Hustle gonna beat this round? Door's open. And Hustle stepped through the door, man. Like he just kept landing them and landing them and landed them. And I'm just like, he's just doing a little more, you know what I'm saying, with the style that's just he was able to just do more with his style than Yogi would. After 3 rounds of that, one could start to tune Yogi out a little bit, even though he's still doing his thing. He's still very aggressive, still delivery is still very clean, he's still very direct. But I just felt like Hustle just was just landing more potent haymakers at times, and that was the deciding factor for me. Like he just managed to close the door, man. Like he stepped through it, closed it, locked it, and I had Hustle 2-1 in that battle. Close battle. If somebody says they have Yogi, then hey, I'm not mad at you at all. I'm not saying like this was just like overwhelmingly dominant, but that's just how I saw the battle.
All right. I felt the same way in real time, but when we got a chance to watch it back after we came home from Waffle House, you know what I'm saying? Titus and I came to an interesting conclusion. I'm gonna let Titus go off because he had a lot to say when we rewatched the battle.
You internet pen patrol people, you're a bunch of frauds, is what you are. You're all frauds. Y'all claim, oh, y'all got to go back and you got to really listen to what was being said. And then on the announcers, y'all being like, Yogi, what was he saying? What was Yogi really saying in this battle? I don't know I don't understand. You could give him the decision. This was a robbery. Hustle got robbed. I don't know. Y'all fake. Y'all pin people online. Y'all are fake. I tweeted. Y'all don't like pins the way y'all claim y'all do. Because Yogi, it's so much stuff in Yogi's rounds. Like, yo, what is he? How do you put all that together? And it's super impressive on the playback. Now, live, I do feel like that battle was debatable. I wasn't mad either way. I was like, in the building, I'm like, yeah, if whoever gets this, I'm not mad at. That's why it's a robbery, because a close decision can't be a robbery. We got to stop that in battle rap. Every close decision is not a robbery. It's 3 judges. It's very possible 2 people have an opinion, 1 person have a different one. Doesn't make it a robbery. It was a great battle. Battle of the night. If it's battle of the night, it can't also be a robbery. All right, it's not how that works at all. Sorry. No, it's how I wanted to work. It's not how it works. But no, I just realized y'all don't like pins the way y'all claim y'all do, and I'm gonna see y'all every time now. I'm just bring y'all tweets back up to you every time. Every time I see you,
I do gotta admit that. I gotta admit, like big salute to like some of the new pens, right? Like guys like Klutz, obviously Chaos has been around for a handful of years. Like you're a fan of those guys, and big fan of those guys. I don't see how that can't transfer over to being a fan of Yogi. You know what I'm saying? Because
no, you should be a fan of Yogi. If you're a fan of those guys, you should automatically Yogi should be on your radar for sure.
Right.
Now, no doubt, I agree with what you're saying, Vlad, about the way like Hustle was able to just like, man, Hustle can rap his ass off. You know what I'm saying? And I love when he gets into these like multisyllabic acrobats. Like, and plus at the end of the day, he had that buzzer beater like haymaker at the end of his 3rd round. On camera, I'm not gonna lie to you, it didn't sound nowhere near as loud as it did in the building. Like in the building, when he hit that bar, the room like felt like it shook a little bit. I mean, watch it on camera, it definitely didn't feel as loud. So if you guys felt like it was a buzzer beater, and I don't feel like y'all felt the full gravity of it like we did, like that lets me know, like, okay, that's people really felt like Hustle won that battle. I'm not even mad at that whatsoever. I picked Hustle to win when I did my judgment because of that one bar, because it was just it was a grand slam. But god damn, man, Yoshi's I'm sorry, not Yoshi. Yogi. Yogi, I'm sorry.
See where your mind is at. Yoshi's content. Let's talk about Yoshi's content, Fred.
No, let's not talk about Yoshi's content. Yogi's content, bro. It was so much.
Get it together, player. Get it together,
packed
man.
into it. Yeah. I'm back. It was so much packed into it. Like I almost want to play a clip, but it would be kind of biased for me to do so. I'm not going to. But man, I was listening back, like catching so much more lines that I didn't catch, and I guess maybe that's also the fundamental like just issue with that kind of style has always been, right? Like that is you leaving gems off the table, and people may not go back to rewatch you, right?
I mean, no, listen, there are people who are fanatics of those styles, and rightfully so, because they love to go back digging and trying to find those little diamonds and stuff like that. But you know, you're doing a live judged battle, sometimes you might have to pull back just a little bit and be able to pace yourself a little bit more and be able to go into various pockets. Sometimes, like, you can't always be going 100 miles per hour and trying to fit words inside of words inside of words inside of words. Like, it's difficult to grasp sometimes for the untrained ear, or just someone who's just like, the person who's in the back who just got their drink, who's walking up and trying to listen. Like, you got to be able to grab them also. You know what I mean? I felt like with Hustle, even in his second round, he's able to close out rounds very strong, very strong. And that can make a big difference when you're sitting there listening to a battle and you're about to judge a battle. If a person is like heating up, cooking, and then at the end, bam, they hit you with 2-3 joints back to back, that's crazy. You know how the brain works, man, recency bias and stuff. So, he knows, like, yo, I got to close out strong, and he closes out very strong, in the second and the third. So I can see why, I mean, I had him winning the battle, so I can see why more people would have him winning that battle than Yogi. But yeah, if you go back, you could decipher and break down anything, but you only get one shot when it's live and in person, and there's bread on the floor. So you got to be able to adapt, and add a little bit more to what you're doing. But Yogi's gonna be just fine, man. Like, he's got a bright future. You know what I'm saying? He's got fundamentals down. Everybody can work on something and add something to their style. So this is no, I'm not condemning, him for having the style that he has. And if he doesn't want to change it, he doesn't have to change a damn thing. You know what I'm saying? But, sometimes it helps to have different speeds to go at. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. Staying at one speed, it does get monotonous at a certain point. And I think all the writers have run in that wall where it's like, yeah, that first, I feel like the same thing. Like, oh, that first one was amazing. Second round was cool. And then around 3, everybody's like, they're writing down, but they're really writing at the same level. It's just people are tired of hearing it. People want to hear something different. So yeah, he can definitely benefit from adding some different dimensions to it.
Remember when Danny the Myers used to have one speed and one vocal projection? It's like loud, yelling, aggressive, no change of pace. Remember when he battled Tay-Rock? He had some jokes, he had some pauses, he had some step backs, he had some and then he does the regular Danny thing also, and it's like, thank you. You know what I'm saying? Like, now this is more entertaining. This is more, and I know people hate that word with battle rap, entertaining. So maybe let me choose another word. This allows you to keep my interest more because I never know where you're going. You feel me? So that's the only advice. Not that Yogi's asking me for advice, but that's the only thing in my critique of Yogi, is that I need some more variety in the style. That's all.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Well said. I mean, Battle of the Night, I feel like both of them. Oh no, I was gonna say,
but
Battle
it was
of the Night,
fire though. They both were fire for sure.
Yeah, exactly. Go ahead, Tess. What are you gonna say?
Yeah, I feel like one thing with Hustle that I noticed, a positive thing, is that he's able to switch momentum in a battle. Like, being able to change the momentum in a battle is one of the most underappreciated attributes of it, because we see dudes that can't do that, and when they're down, they're just done, right? Like, Hustle was able to get hit with some bombs and come back and really, Hustle was able to give some bombs, come back and really just change the tempo and really make every round a conversation just about. Like, it's super impressive. So I think that's a great skill set to have going forward, because a lot of dudes don't have that. They don't.
Facto.
I agree, man. Great battle. Can't wait to watch it in back and full again, because I'll rewatch the third round, because that was around the deciding factor. I seen everybody online was upset, and I agree with Titus. Everything's not a robbery, guys. So just everybody chill out. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, did people get at you?
No, I was on. I was.
Oh
on
yeah,
the side
you had
of the
Hustle
people.
winning, right? Yeah.
Listen. We covered all bases here. Okay, this is good. This was good. You know what I'm saying? It made everybody. Right. I thought it made everybody happy. So this might be the apex of my judging career, and I think I could definitely retire my judgment. But anywho, then we get to B-Mac and Capo. Another 3,000 on
this
the line.
battle
I think
man.
I think actually 3,500 on the line. Oh, you missed it.
Yeah.
Oh boy, we got a lot to say.
Woo!
Oh man, we got a
Oh
lot
man, the look on your face. What happened, player? Come on, man, break it down to me. Was it nasty work?
It kind of was nasty work. Okay,
Oh,
like I know BMAX style is generally set to like have a lot of one-liners,
yeah,
a lot of aggression. You know what I'm saying? His bio says himself, the cadence makes the punch, even though I kind of feel like he's in the slew of just one punchline. Like he stays on one pace for me. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't see any like real flows being switched, no like real solid transitions, no transition
yeah,
rhymes, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, when I, I'm not saying he has to be like anybody else, but you know, a lot of people will like have a punchline and then they'll just use a random gun line that like
the Glocker squirt.
Ruger
Yeah.
dumb, the Thule spark. Yeah, like that's not for no reason.
Shotty
That's for you to properly that's for you to stay in the rhyme so that way people can kind of like stay captivated and also transition. Like it's not just foolish. Some of them are foolish. But the point is there's a method to the madness by using that. And I didn't feel like he had any proper transitions into any of his like one-liners. And I get it. You know, he when I told him I felt like, you know, like there wasn't a lot of build up, there wasn't a lot of setups, not a lot of internal rhymes, not a lot of so like when you don't have any momentum and you're not garnering any of the attention of the room, just constantly throwing those jabs, like some will connect, some won't, but you won't build any momentum. Like you're not just gonna find one big line that just bam automatically changes everything for you. And he's kind of like, well, this is my style. This is what got me here. I'm not gonna abandon what got me here, and then just kind of like I feel that, but I feel like that style that you have has a very limited ceiling. And it's just, in the long haul, it's just not going to work long term. You know what I'm saying? Because you can easily be in a room that's like enamored by it. But what's going to happen the days you're in a room that's not enamored by you? You know, and beyond the style, because that becomes subjective. That's obviously just my opinion on his style. Now, fundamentally, you can't show this much visible frustration where, like, you know, you repeating lines back because they didn't get reaction. You're like forcing to get reaction for certain lines. You're like, what? Screaming like at some point, like maybe he didn't lose confidence, but in my eyes, watching it, it felt like he lost confidence in his material, knowing he wasn't like getting any reaction from the room. People talking in the back, and then he's like, people talking. It's like, well, it's your job to command the room. It's not my job to stop talking. It's your job to command the room. You know, so I just felt like it was a real amateur performance from him yesterday.
Titus, your sentiments on this battle?
I agree with everything France said, and I want to take it a step further. My Baltimore voice, a step further. This what happened to B-Mac? It reminded me of them early PG days. You know, they being Black Star, and everything lands. Then they go on the stage and they're like, "Why y'all don't like this now? Why you don't like this? You like this when I was in a tiny room." And not to say this was a bigger room, but there's a noticeable difference because me and friends trying to figure out what went so wrong because the B-Mac and Dev battle was getting a lot of attention the other week, right? So like, what happened here? Because B-Mac is so convinced that this style works. He's like, I rapped like this before and they got me here. And I realized something, Vlad. I noticed something. He was enabled by a room of rappers. That's what it was. It was a room of rappers. Everything was landing. Every single thing, and it's the same exact style he had yesterday, bringing it back a lot, one-liners. I will say he did have a couple more pockets, like he set up a little bit better, but it was pretty much the same fundamental thing that was happening. But the rapper room liked everything. This wasn't the rapper room. This was fans, Hitman, and just people, and it wasn't landing like that. So his bad habits were. It's like an NBA player on a tanking team. You know, they just develop a bunch of bad habits like a rookie. They get a bunch of bad habits when it's time to win. It's like, why are you doing those terrible? Why are you making those terrible decisions? Shout out to Trae Young. It was like that. You know, he had bad habits enabled by just being in a room that was very happy and safe. It was a very safe environment, and it enabled this performance, I think. Because there's a lot to work on, and it's really small stuff. It's like he doesn't have a jab. Like the jab sets up your whole arsenal as a boxer, right? He doesn't have a jab. It's just I got hooks, I got uppercuts, but I have no way to set him up, and that's the big. He needs that connecting tissue.
There's no combinations.
None.
I like these analogies. Now, I've been hearing a lot about this dude. What about his opponent? We've been talking about BMAC. What's up with his opponent? How did he do in this battle?
Yeah, no. Kapo, I think, capitalized on all of the things that Mac left on the table. Obviously, it's funny because going into the battle, like I was, this is my first time seeing Kapo live, and I was asking a little bit about like, hey, what's his style? Like a lot of people tell me like they describe them almost like how I was describing BMAC. Like he tries to be explosive, he tries to punch a lot, he's not very fluid. And this battle, that was the complete, like, if that was a description they gave me of him, they were completely wrong because he was extremely fluid this battle. He had a whole bunch of like moments where he would like rap in a fast cadence and then slow it down. Like, I think he had like a bar that like really sold the battle for me. Let me pull this up. I was writing these notes down. He had a bar where he did a whole like math scheme of like a subtraction, division, addition, right? Like he was like, but he's saying all the words for the math like key terms fast, and then at the end of it all, he's like, "What good is a pen if you can't draw attention?" And then like the whole room just like exploded after that bar because it was like it was divine because like not only did you give me a crazy flow with it that like had me like captivated while I'm listening to it. It also happened in real time that he was struggling to draw or garner attention. So it's like, okay, he understood his opponent. He came with multiple different lanes and gears to switch into it with his flow pockets. He had the performance going. I don't feel like he had the hardest hitting punchlines, but everything else just kind of just like stood out. Like when in doubt, good rapping definitely can always help you in these situations. So he did that.
I do like that line that you quoted.
Yeah.
So Kapo won this battle clearly.
Oh yeah. I mean, I'll say this much. I'll say BMAC definitely had a lot of good punches in his first. Like if you're just doing the bar for bar thing, you could probably argue around for him, but you can't. He lost his battle.
All right.
Yeah, he lost very clearly. One thing for Kapo, his first round I think was his best round. So I do think going forward, try and spread that material out a little bit because it didn't feel like he wrote up. It felt like he wrote downhill. He didn't really write up, but it was enough to get through this battle, right? Like it was enough. He has enough of the intangibles to get through that level of opponent. But if he wants to elevate, you're gonna have to write uphill, not spread that material out a little bit. Don't bomb in your first and then bring it down the next two. It's not gonna get by everybody. But yeah, this was a solid performance. It's the first time seeing Kapo as well. I'm like, okay, I'm impressed. I'm definitely impressed. I see the building blocks for sure.
Advice. All right, man. Overall, successful night. Good night. How'd you guys feel once everything was done? I know Francis was like, "Oh, I can breathe now." Deuces.
We did the sideline. We did the sideline reporter thing and did we did the sideline reporter thing and just got post-game interviews with the winners.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying?
Fire.
And then
as only LTBR
there's a lot of aftermath after there's a lot of aftermath after the BMAC battle though, bro. Like there was
what do you mean?
What do you it's like this giant space of just like all of St. Louis there. Like MVP popped out. I haven't seen MVP on this space in forever. You know, from Street Status is there. There's pardon me, I forgot this lady's name.
Oh, you mean a space on Twitter? You talking about?
Yeah. She has a battle.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant in the building. I was like, where the Cardinal Cap goons?
No. After the battle,
after everything.
Let me clarify. Yeah, let me clarify because after the battle, there was a Twitter space of like all St. Louis in there. Like Mac is in there, MVP's in there, Street Status is in there. The host from St. Louis. There's a lady. I forgot her name, man. I'm salute to her. She started Battle Rap podcast or has a podcast for a while, and she's also from St. Like it felt like a giant St. Louis gathering in the space. To the point, Vlad, guess who was in the listeners? When I tell you this name, you're gonna be like, "Whoa, Juicilla was in the listeners."
Juicilla. Oh man, that's a throwback. Wow.
Like I see Remedy like liking tweets. I see him like on a liking tweet spree, and I'm just like, what is happening here? Like,
Remedy just had a Crucible battle.
Yeah. Oh, he did.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, Remy D just had a crucible battle, yo.
interesting.
Oh,
Well,
I
And Francis is
did.
like,
I
oh,
did
how
hear
did I
that.
miss that? How did I miss that one? Think about Yoshi's content. That's why.
You know what?
He did. I forgot. I think I forgot I heard that. Yeah, about Remedy having a cruise. Well, like what? Because it was so confusing that I just thought I made it up in my mind. I didn't think it was a real thing.
Oh,
Yeah,
no, it's a real
man.
thing. He's back.
Listen. That space was intense.
What
I
are you
was
talking
going.
about? Hold on, man. You leaving something out, man. What
Yeah.
happened, man? What happened?
Nah. The space is just all just like really critiquing his performance. Like everybody's there trying to like critique his performance and tell him how to like stay like poised for
Oh,
these moments.
man.
Then Saga pulled up and Saga's trying to give him game, and it's just like it's like it was a lot going on in there.
It was messy.
Oh.
It was messy. It was
It's,
messy. It
it's
was like
like,
a St.
yo,
Louis
I
intervention.
appreciate the. Yo, man, that's
They were not having it.
Living in the era of social media where anyone can click the start button and open up a forum for people to discuss what just happened, and you didn't have necessarily your greatest performance that night, and everyone is giving you their critiques and how to do this, that could be very overwhelming to a young battler that's like that's not prepared for something like that. Because it's one thing, you do a battle, people in the building tell you, oh yeah, you could have did better, whatever. Some weeks go by, it drops on YouTube, and you can prepare yourself for that. But it's like, man, remember homeboy, what was that quarterback that went off the field and he was walking like my man that just got his chain snatched from Friday? Forgot which quarterback that was, but he was just like down in the dumps. Could you imagine if there was a space with like 10,000 fans and people and former players from your city just dumping on you, man? Like that's got to be rough.
Yeah, it's it's gonna be one for him to remember. I'll say this much. I can't wait to see his next performance after this.
Y'all making me want to see how bad this dude was.
It's not pretty, Vlad. I'm telling you, it's not pretty.
What did he even have the legendary effect? You know what I'm saying? Was it like that where you could at least get something from it, or was it just like?
Nah, he definitely has. Like I said, he has good one-liners. It's not like he doesn't have good punches or good bars. I'm not saying his bars aren't good. I'm just saying the setups, the how you present it, the packaging of it. Like I feel like long term, if this is the style you want to commit to, I don't know if it's sustainable to win long term or compete at a high level. That's just me. You know what I'm saying? But again, that's just me. You don't gotta listen to little LTBR. You can keep doing what you do. Don't let me be the end all be all.
Right. All right. Well, hey man, listen, man. Everyone goes through it. Every day is not going to be your best day, but guess what, man? If you are lucky enough to wake up the next day, you get a chance to improve on your style and you get a chance to make things better. So it ain't the end all be all. Take everything with a grain of salt. See what you think is legit criticism. See what you think is hate, and separate the two and continue to work on your craft. And you'll get better.
Facts.
Word.
I think
So
one of the
after
biggest
that,
things for this entire event for me was like, oh my bad. I think my
go
mic
ahead.
is delayed. My bad. I think one of the biggest things for this event for me was like, I like seeing the young talent and seeing how like, okay, these aren't perfect battle rappers at all. These are people who understand the craft a little bit, but there's still so much they can work on. So it's like you're seeing them at their beginning stage. It's like, let me see what you're gonna be in a couple years. All right, at the end of this year, when you keep progressing, I think that's a really dope experience about it. That's what I enjoyed about it for sure.
Right. All right. Hey man, well there it is, man. Bags and Bodies, Hitman's first, post reality show event. He got some young, fresh talent out there. He's giving the spotlight to people who some of us have never heard of. A fair chance to be able to be in front of the world in crispy 4K cameras and in organized fashion, and a chance to get some honest opinions and feedback from the people them. So salute to Holla. He didn't try to go out and get, a bunch of known names against these guys. He's doing something that's tough, pitting new guys against new guys and seeing, who are the people going to take to, and trying to groom some talent and trying to get some fresh talent out there, not just picking from a pool of people that we already know. So salute to that, man, and salute to Bags and Bodies. Sounds like overall successful night, man. Successful event.
Yeah, man. Bags and Bodies has been getting a lot of criticism from people in the culture, and I feel like a little bit it's unfair, right? Because it's like, if you want to like talk about the way Coastal Rain is set up as far as a platform, like their website could be better, the interface could be better, the app could be more accessible. That's cool. We're all here to talk about how to make technology better. I have no problem with that. And as far as following the show, I've always said it from the premiere to now. I feel like as a battle rap degenerate, I love what I'm watching. I can follow it. But could I present it to somebody that didn't know battle rap and they will be able to enjoy it as much? I think the answer is possibly, but it's a bit difficult when they don't introduce all the characters going on. But at the same time, there's 16, 17 battles in the house. You can't introduce everybody in one instance. It needs to come in waves. And I feel like they could just do a bit better job at just spotlighting who's in the house, who this person is. Let's get a little bit deeper into their story, break up the episodes where it's like we meet 4, 5, 6 people this episode, and the next 5, 6 the next episode. You know what I mean? Like, so I would love to see them just I guess highlight the characters that are in this TV show a little bit more detail, so that way if you don't know who these people are whatsoever, you can get a chance to fully get in tune. And as far as who's in the house or who's not in the house, I don't think that this is confusing for us, but I can see how somebody would be like, wait, well, who's in the house, who's not in the house? So I also think a clean graphic of that would just a simple graphic of who's in the house, who's still competing, who's just here for the prizes, who's still in the race for the $50,000. I think that would be great as well. So that way you also know who's battling, what's going on. I guess just feed as much information as possible so they can follow the storyline. You know what I'm saying? Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I do. Absolutely. Us being degenerates, we knew everybody, for the most part that's in the house. And if we didn't, we picked up on it, in the first episode for sure. But yes, I do think that, what can also be done too for season 2 is to give us more of in-depth stories and backgrounds of, the people who you're going to highlight, because we know, like, once everything is shot, you're like, oh, these are my stars. You know what I'm saying? These are the people who we're going to focus on and stuff like that. So, I definitely would like to see more background info on the battlers and stuff. And yeah, organizing it to who's competing for what and who's just here to, compete for the in-house prizes and who's here to compete for the 100,000 overall and stuff like that, and put them in their, respective brackets and all that. Definitely for sure.
Put a nice graphic or like over like a little like third layer lay at the bottom when like a challenge comes out. It's like challenge ching ching, and put the money sign, the amount of the challenge and what the challenge is, like that's dope too, so very simple little fundamental things that I know for a fact they can completely improve on. So I think he gets a lot of unwarranted hate and criticism for it. Now the recycling part of the show, I got to be totally transparent here. When they told me prior to the show being shot that everybody would have about 3 days prep for 90-second rounds, I'm like, damn, that's kind of tough. Like, can a lot of people do a 3-round battle where it's 90-second rounds in 3 days, so 4.5 minutes of material in 3 days? And I asked a lot of my like battle rappers. I asked like Loso, I asked like DNA, I asked a handful of people that they're a little bit more seasoned than the people that are obviously in Bags and Bodies, but they all said 4.5 minutes of material being memorized and written in 3 days is
actually
sustainable.
They each had more like 5 days to work on. Because remember, if he picked you on a Saturday, you battled on a Thursday. If you picked you on a Sunday, you battling on a Friday. So it's more like a 5-day window.
Yeah, thank you for that. Yeah. Okay, so more of a 5-day window. So yeah, even better. So a lot of people said, yeah, that's definitely doable, especially if you're in the house and you're locked in for it, no doubt. And
right, because there's no distractions. Now, you don't have your kids, you don't have any your wife, you don't got to go to work, you don't have any of the normal things that would get in the way. It's just rap. So that's a whole different ball game when all you got to do is write rhymes instead of living life trying to pay bills and write your rhymes. You know?
Yeah, I think it's like you can definitely get away with it, but you won't get away with it because, like, in real time, I'm not sure if someone's gonna know that you recycled, and you're gonna be able to just have raps on deck, which is very essential to the original platform of how battle rap used to be, right? Like I would love for like you get all the pioneers to sit down and then talk about like when did reusing your old raps be called recycling, because they're probably thinking to themselves like who's making up these rules? I could always do this. You know what I'm saying?
Well, France, you know, we're talking about recycling in general, right? But
Yeah.
I think for those that are listening, those that who might not be in tune, we got to give them more specifics. All right. So Snake Eyes versus Bad News, one of the best battles of last year. And Snake Eyes got caught reusing his first round, not in one battle, not in two battles. This would make his third battle using those rounds, using that round in particular. And I mean, it was the same round, you know, like he might have changed the name from Heavy Half to Bad News. You know, that round has been here since 2013, you know. So you have 4 days to write the rhymes. Bad News writes 3 fresh, brand new rounds, and Snake Eyes reuses a round, his first round, for the third time. You know, so in today's battle rap, that's a no-go. Like we're not doing that anymore. I mean, you go back to this is when the reusing your rhymes changed in battle rap, when T-Rex versus Uncasa, right? Like back in the streets, back in the days, you can go block to block using the same rhymes you had. Didn't matter. That's just how the culture was set up, because you might have your best 20 rhymes memorized. You could be from the Bronx. You end up in Queens somewhere. Yo, my man got rhymes. He got rhymes. These people probably never heard it. I'm going to my go-to rounds, no matter what, unless you're a freestyle type of cat. So yeah, but once T-Rex and Uncasa happened, and Uncasa said, I heard that on the radio, that now made the audience go, oh, no more. You need to come with fresh rhymes from here on out. And there was definitely a change, because even Mook got caught, you know, not got caught, but there were certain rounds, him versus Jihad, he used those rounds versus a guy, I believe, named Regular Weeze, I want to say. So it happened. But once the DVD started happening, it was like, nah, we can't do this anymore. Much like when rappers used to go from radio station to radio station, from town to town, using the same freestyles on the beats, using the same bars. Now, granted, that was a different era where it's like, yo, I'm here to impress you. So here's my best rhymes. Here's what I'm going to do. The person who's listening to me on Hot 97 is not going to hear these rhymes on KTLA. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not going to happen. It just wasn't happening like that back then. But once the internet made this world that much smaller, you can't do that anymore. You can't go on LA Leakers and use the same rhyme that you use on Funk Flex. You're going to get flamed. You can't then take those same rhymes and go on bars on I-95. They're going to crucify you. You can't do that. So for someone like Snake Eyes, who's a veteran, who's been around this long, it's like, how did you think you were going to get away with this? Like, it's just not logical to believe that no one is going to find this out. I mean, you use these rhymes on RBE, which is, you know, one of the top leagues in battle rap, and everyone's out there, you know, paying attention and seeing what's going on.
So I have a few things to point to that, right? One,
talk to me.
I can understand the idea of like, this is a judge battle on the line, the stakes on the line. I need to win right now. I could deal with the repercussions later, right? Because Arsenal versus Hollow the Don, the last Fight Club that ever aired, the last Fight Club tournament ever, when they went into overtime, Arsenal used one of his rounds from his Tech 9 battle on the lines and to Hollow the entire round,
right? And
he won the battle. And it was revealed later on, like, oh wait, he used this round already. This was still, you could kind of get away with it, right. And Snake Eyes probably like, I used it once, nobody caught me. It's true though. He's probably like, I used it once and nobody noticed. So, you know, let's see if I could get it through customs again. And not to defend them, but I am intrigued that rhymes from 2013, aged into 2022. I do think that's kind of interesting though. Like, because the original round was from 2013.
Yeah. Right. No, that's great. Okay, that means that certain things do hold up. I go back and listen to Nas albums all the time and go, these rhymes are still amazing. Like nothing has changed. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, certain things will happen like that. You know, I feel like that's definitely one of Snake Eyes is like, he's like, hey man, this is one of my go-to rounds. You know what I'm saying? It has that gritty, you know, fresh from jail feel. You know what I'm saying? New York, grimy New Yorker style, and it's something that has held up. But ultimately, at the end of the day, like we're out of that era of recycling bars. You know what I mean? And I do understand, like, yeah, the money's on the line. It's either I'm going home or he's going home. I believe in these rhymes. But France, his reasoning was, you know what? I felt like these rhymes are really good and they haven't been heard on a big enough platform. You know what I'm saying? No slight to RBE. These are his words. You know what I'm saying? And that people need to hear this. And I'm like, yeah, but no, this is not what we're doing, you know? And he's like, oh, these are, you know, my rhymes and stuff like that. And, you know, he got mad at DNA's Tooth for uploading it. But I mean, you rapped it, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, he starts to go on a tangent of DNA Tooth. You know, he doesn't even show his face in the culture. Like, he doesn't come to events. Like, how could he be someone to bring these bars out? I'm like, sir, you use the bars. You know, this is your third time using them. Like, you can't get mad at the person who's exposing it. You know, let's apologize or don't apologize and be like, hey, man, all right, y'all got me. Yeah, I did use them. And that's the end of the story. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, but on the other hand, I'm like, you got to keep it fair, player. Like, you're mad at DNA's Tooth for not showing his face, but you know, you're arguing with your friends on their platform, you know, and one of your main friends, Posey, has never showed his face, but you know, he can have his you know, opinions on everything and stuff like that. So I'm like, dude, you got caught. It happens. You know, let's stop making excuses for everything and just, you know, you're calling the fans broke at this point. Like, you know, you're like, y'all ain't even, why ain't you broke and stuff. I'm like, bro, like, just, you got caught, man. That's what it is. Like, either just move on from it. But I'm going attacking everybody, though.
Yeah, like, honestly, the better approach would have just been to be like, honestly, like, he took it, just be like, I took a calculated risk. I was in a bond, short prep time, high pressure situation. I took a chance. I could get this round off in this moment. I knew somebody might catch it on cam, but I'm trying to win right now. I'm going home today, not in 5 months. They can't send me home in 5 months. They got to send me home today. That's a much better approach. That's real. That's a real honest take, and I would understand that if that's what he said. But he didn't take that route. But I think anybody as against as we are, if he says that's like, you know what, I get you. It's still wrong, but I get why you tried it. I understand why you tried it. You know,
right?
That's the better approach than trying to go on the attack about it. Like,
yeah, man. So for future rappers, man, be careful, man, because everyone's out there with a fine-tooth comb now. Like, you are going to get caught. It is going to be exposed. You know, so if you're willing to take that risk and you know what comes with it, that's on you, Jack. You know what I mean? But it's the days of recycling and reusing bars is over. Like, people are just not accepting it, and it's just not a part of the culture, man.
Well, now we've seen now the Tay-Roc, right? Like, I guess it's kind of like the lie, though, right? Like, everybody puts up a front about it till they get caught, and I think that's what makes it like just burn so much more. Like, Tay-Roc, like, I didn't know I could do this. Like, made it sound like he made this up. Made this material up in an hour.
The Golden Globe for that joint. Yeah.
like
the Golden Globe goes to Dante Rock.
Yeah, but I know they killed him for it, but in my head I'm like, well, he just made a cameo. This is TV. It's all scripted. Like, it's all right. Like,
not all scripted, but I know what you mean, though. Yeah,
right. But like there's no massive implications in his recycling of the Mike P round. But with Snake
Listen, man,
Eyes doing it
Tay-Rock
in the
wanted to
battle,
look good on cam. I get it. You know, he's like,
yeah,
"Oh, Mike Tyson, I got around already. I'm not gonna bust my brain. I'm gonna spit this round
yeah.
that I did on a
But
virtual battle, not a round that I did on two real actual platforms. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, and now
Big difference.
I can't help but wonder if there's more recycling to come out from the show. And best believe that the people now have the magnifying glass on the show. And I'm gonna be honest, like for people that recycle in the show, yeah, you're gonna get dragged through the mud. But I can at least empathize with the idea of I need to win right now, so I'm gonna
Yeah.
do whatever it takes to win right now. I can definitely empathize with that.
No, I totally get that too. And it is the first season. So I think a lot of people are just kind of like, yo, I ain't never been in this situation. I'm stressing for rhymes. I gotta go to round. I'm trying to win, you know, right now. Like I totally get that. But I think now that this, you know, has happened, season 2, there's gonna be like, you know, you got this already. We do not want to hear it, you know. And it was also interesting too, because Snake was going, yo, Tay-Rock is legend, you know what I'm saying, one of the faces of the league, you know what I'm saying? He's not supposed to do that. He's Tay-Rock, you know what I mean? Well, I'm like, well, if he's not supposed to do it, well, why would you think it was cool for you to do it? You know what I'm saying? Maybe you're not on the legendary status of Tay-Rock, so you should be able to get away with the nonsense. Like that doesn't make any sense. You know, he's like, they love it when they do it, but hate it when I do it. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, no, man,
Right.
we didn't like it. We don't like it when anyone does it. Like, it's no
Right.
one gets a pass for reusing rounds. So I didn't understand that logic when it came to that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just didn't get that. Like him being mad at Tay-Rock because Tay-Rock is legendary status. So he should know better. Like he shouldn't be doing that. But, you know, because Snake is still making his bones and, you know, climbing up the ladder, you know, in battle rap, like he should be able to get away with this. Like, I don't understand that logic. Like, it doesn't make sense to me.
But how do you police this? Because at the end of the day, like you're more than likely not going to be able to realize somebody's recycling in real time. It's not the battles from the show or live stream; they're taped and aired months later. So like we wouldn't find out till way later. So whatever implications of that battle that you may have not recycled in, the results is already in. The verdict's done. Like there's no way to go back and change it. You know
I don't think it's something that all right, maybe in real time, yeah, you can't police it. But I think, you know, with the culture, we got to have we have unwritten rules, you know, in this culture. Don't bite, don't steal, you know, don't recycle. Like we want fresh material. Like nobody's trying to, it feels like you're cheating your opponent and the culture, you know, at the same time. It's an unwritten rule that we all know. So when it does happen, you know what I'm saying? We just call the person out for it and say, yo, we don't like this. We're not accepting this. This is not cool. So, you know, I think that's what happens. Like, because if it's something where we just let it go and be like, oh, yeah, man, we don't care, whatever, then you know, all hell is gonna break loose. People just gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna use this one again. Nobody heard me spit this in Arkansas. Like, why can't I use this in Minnesota now when I go up there to this league? Like, you know, it's just gonna be a free for all. You know what I mean? But you know, ultimately, it's up to the consumers, to say, hey, we reject this deposit. Don't do it again. You know.
There you have it.
Yeah, that's real.
Have it.
I think.
Yeah, well said.
I think my last thing on this is that Danny Myers has 187,000 battles. Have you heard Danny recycle around?
No, man.
If Danny hadn't done it, y'all can't do it. Sorry.
Oh, well, look at that.
Hey. Oh, that's a nice way to put a bow on that one.
Yeah, right. Okay, look at that.
Titus with giving Danny Myers props, man.
Yeah, look at that. Look at this.
You a changed man. Yeah. Look at the range, man. Titus got a whole new game plan. I'm proud of you, man. Titus dumped the toxic tea, you know what I'm saying? And now he's like reformed Titus. He's trying to make changes, man. I'm proud of this young man. You know, I'm proud of you, bro.
Thank you. I'm trying, man.
Look at you go.
Look at you go. R.I.P. Pat, man. Yeah, but again, ultimately, I just want to say that Bags and Bodies as a whole, like, nothing is perfect, right? This is the first season. This is the first prototype of it happening in this capacity. Let's be patient with it. Let's critique it, but also be constructive and still supportive at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? Because I've definitely seen people that have just either not want to talk about it, completely shit on it, and they're just forgetting that Hitman Holla is still changing the like. Hitman doesn't have to do any of this. Okay, if Hitman stopped tomorrow, like he's well in his right. Okay, like sometimes I kind of feel like I'm just keeping a buck. Like I know people are gonna be like, oh, you're just saying that because he took you, he brought you down to judge and hold you down. No, beyond that,
out.
sometimes I feel like yeah, right. They probably just no, but in all seriousness, sometimes battle rap doesn't deserve Hitman, bro. Like he has literally changed the lives of like 16, amateur, mid-tier, up-and-coming guys that are still finding their ways to become professional battle rappers, giving them platforms, giving them light, helping them hone their skills. Beyond all that, obviously gives back to the culture in a variety of ways. It's always stood being an active battle rapper. You know what I'm saying? Has a big heart. You see him holiday time, his toy drive, giving out money for groceries. Like, for God's sakes, he blessed Tata like with grocery money during the time for the holidays. Like he does so much. And
not
when
that
he
she
gets
needed
the hate, I
it,
see
but
why he
he was being generous. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah. Thank you for that. He's just
No problem.
out the kindness of his heart. You know what I'm saying? And so when I see him like get tear down, sometimes I'm just kind of like, why you gotta do this to him? Like he could just walk away and not do any of this, and he puts up with it. You know what I mean? And this is me just defending what he does because at the end of the day, I've always said it like. I feel like battle rap is supposed to go mainstream because every time we get an opportunity to be somewhere that spotlights us in a bigger capacity, we just hate it. You know what I'm saying? This is not like this is the first battle rap TV show. This is actually the second TV show that happened in 2022. Okay, we had Ron to put on the Barstool Compliment Battles where you can see Pat Stay's last battle, RIP Pat. They had a whole storyline with Compliment Battles. And I get you can be like, those Compliment Battles. This isn't a real battle. It's still on Sling TV. Okay, and then you have Coastal Rain, a brand new black-owned service. Black-owned, television service that you can stream and watch the show, and people like they're so critical of it. It's like I don't treat any other platforms like this. You know what I'm saying? And so when I see that happen in battle rap, I just it gets a little discouraging, Vlad. You know what I'm saying? Every time the spotlight is on the culture to do something bigger, or somebody tries to come in and say, "Hey, battle rap, I see what's going on. I want to put some exposure on it." Everybody's like, "No, we don't want that."
Yeah, man. Unfortunately, it's been like that. But listen, Hitman, I enjoy watching the show. I'm tuned in every Sunday, so I
Facts.
implore you to go to coastalraintv.com.
Yeah.
If you got it, spend the bread, man. Support the brother because there might be more good stuff to come. You know what I mean? It's black owned. It's trying to get off the ground. Now it's trying to fly. It's trying to soar. So support it if you can. You know what I mean? And enjoy the content. Or if not, just put somebody else onto it. Share it. When you see things drop, put it out there because we want battle rap to expand. We don't want to just keep it tied down to where it is. We want more opportunities. We want these guys to be able to go out there and get hundreds of thousands of dollars and live exclusively off rap and become, stars and stuff like that. So here's an opportunity. Let's support it. I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all watching that Blueface and what's her name show. You know what I'm saying? Y'all watch all kinds of what's the baddie show, women beating up on each other all day long. Y'all tweet that out and support it and and say it's giving bad girls vibes and all that stuff. A lot of you dudes sitting around watching that, but Hitman's trying to put on a battle rap show.
Yeah.
Everybody's sitting over here complaining. I'm like, come on, man. It's ridiculous, bro.
Yeah, and I don't want to spotlight the negativity too much. And even when I asked Hitman yesterday, like, do you feel like that? Because I know he's always looking for areas of improvement. That's just in his nature. I asked him, is there anything you feel like you could have done better or would do differently moving forward? And he said no. He liked the way everything came out. So I'm happy he had that answer. I'm happy he's staying optimistic. You know what I'm saying? I just wanted to address it for myself because it's just like, God damn, like can y'all not? can y'all enjoy something?
Nah,
you know what I'm saying? You remember when this year's edition of 2K had like a battle rap option where it's like you can play in the game and actually battle. And I get it, it was cringy, it had no flow and nothing, but think about how big NBA 2K is, and it just implemented something battle rap related into the story mode of the game. Like that lets me know that there might be a developer or someone that works in as far as creating this game that could be a fan of the culture, and we don't know who the hell they are. You know what I'm saying? So if we get connected to them and be like, hey, people really like this part of the game, are y'all gonna keep it for next year's game? You want to get a battle rapper involved?
See, but I think with that one though, it's kind of like, all
Yeah.
right, y'all want to y'all want to put battles in it, but you're not reaching out to the culture itself. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? Like that, I do understand because for what I know, I don't think the creators of NBA 2K are brothers. You know what I'm saying? But but I do know that there's probably some brothers involved. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the man who makes the 2K ratings, 2K Ronnie, he ain't no brother. You know what I'm saying? And this is a sport with 89% brothers. You know what I mean? Like, but when it comes to the creativity part, the actual culture part, it's not in our hands. This is in our hands. It's in Hitman's hands. Pause all of that if we need to pause all of that. But you know what I'm saying? Like we got these outside entities who create things and give it to us and don't include us in the process. And then so when it's not good and the rapping is bad and the battle is not, what we expect, then yeah, by all means, have at it. Let them know, like, nah, man, this is not what we're doing here. Like, this is not how our culture goes. This is not how battle rap goes. This is no. But when you have something that's a good product, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, everything can be tweaked here and there. Don't get me wrong. You know what I mean? Nothing is perfect, but it's from us to us. Like, let's support and not just crap on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you don't like it, that's your opinion. Like, that's cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, by all means, but unnecessary, just like, it's just
Well,
like,
yeah.
a
I
bit
mean,
much
look,
for me, man.
I mean, yeah, it just every time somebody starts a venture to it, it's first met with like a lore, like, oh, congratulations, you're starting something, and then when it's like finally taking place and everybody finds a way to like nitpick it and tear it down. Again, Free to Wave, it happened to him when he launched Midnight Madness, right? Like they were really upset about that at some point in time. Like they had their complaints, so it happens to everybody, and I just wish there was more of like a foundational support so that like again, I feel like we're just a giant niche bubble. I don't think we're supposed to be mainstream, okay? You know what I'm saying? We've had this talk many times off air. I've had it with Titus, I've had it with you, and I'm gonna say it on record. Like when UW had Annihilation, the Loaded Lux and Arsenal card in Jersey, and it didn't sell out the venue. That was a red flag to me. And then when the following year, when Murder Mook make his 4-year return from battle rap after not battling from 2014 to 2018, he's battling Averb, and it was a star-studded card like Pat Stay, Iron Solomon, Big K, Ill Will, B Dot, King Los is making his battle rap debut. Danny Myers is on it. It's a star-studded card in Club Drum that holds 250 people, and it didn't sell out to like the week of the event. I was like, maybe battle rap isn't as big as we think that it really is.
No, you know what?
And so I much rather
go ahead.
I was gonna say I just much rather us just embrace the niche, the bubble that we're in, and give ourselves the highest quality of like of product, service, support amongst the board, because like this is a bubble, Vlad. This is a bubble. This is a very small bubble.
Yeah, I kind of agree on some points, and then other points, I look at, man, Smack goes state to state, sell anywhere from 1,000 to 3,000 tickets. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. Maybe it's the entities involved at times. Listen, I'm just saying, right? We're keeping it real, right? You know what I mean? Like the man was like, "Oh, we going to Houston for the first time, sold out. Oh, we going to Florida, sold out. Oh, we going to LA, sold out." Like he's the Godfather. He's the energy. It brings a certain type of attention to it. You know what I mean? Like, listen, you think if Smack would have said, hey, Murder Moose coming back versus Averb, there's only 250 tickets at Club Drum, buy them now, them joints would have been sold out in a day. Are you crazy? Like, people would have been standing outside begging to pay you $500 for your tickets to get in. So sometimes that is what it is. But I'll also say I'm not going to say we, because I try not to partake in this, but a lot of times from within the culture, we like to tear down our own. Remember when BattleRap.com was around? Do you guys remember how battlers would treat Battle Rap Chris and whoever else was out there? But you know, when and it's like just fiending to get on this thing because it's owned by Hip Hop DX. You know, you got a Caucasian man with a microphone in front of you asking you questions. You know, but what is the brothers from the inside? It's like you tear down black media anytime you get a chance to. Like, you know, people try to grow and you know, make changes and stuff like that. And it's like, if it's from us, we're gonna tear it down as much as we can immediately. But you're like, oh, Hip Hop DX owns this. Oh, this is outside of just regular battle rap eyes. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna be on my best behavior and stuff like that. I'm gonna straighten up and fix my shirt when I get on your camera. You know what I'm saying? But you know, you get a black camera comes around. It's like, oh, hold on, man. Let me roll my blunt first before I can speak to you. Let me blow this smoke in your face all the time before we can even talk. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like we're like cannibals sometimes. You know what I'm saying, man? It's like we just like to tear each other down for no reason, just because it's from within. So we feel like we can. It's like, Titus, you know, if you got family members, you could probably talk about them a certain way to their face that outsiders can't, right? And then if somebody else from the outside comes in, you're not going to speak to them. I'm not going to say you not, but you probably won't speak to them the way that you would speak to your family members. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's what happens within battle rap a lot of times. It's like, if it's coming from us, oh yeah, talk crazy, but let somebody else come around. It's like, you know, I don't know, man.
Right.
Am I
it's
tripping?
A lot like the UFC. Nah, not at all. It's a lot like to me it's a lot like the UFC fan base, right? I'm MMA fans. Like MMA fans and battle rap fans mirror in a lot of ways, whereas they're in niche cultures that they want more attention, but then when they get that attention from certain platforms, they don't like it. And it's like, you can't expect everyone to care as much as you do about this. Like, this is your favorite thing. It's not theirs. So like, instead of being accepting and trying to teach and learn, they just attack anything that feels like it might be some type of mainstream attention, while complaining about things, people being underpaid, things not being mainstream, things not being this or that. It's a lot of the same thing. You know, it mirrors each other in a lot of ways. And this thing, I feel like niche cultures have the most passionate fan base, but also they can be the most toxic fan bases as well because of that passion.
Hence toxic tea.
My man
was
like, wait a minute, I just had a self-reflection moment. Am I talking about me?
It's a bad combo.
It's a tough combo, man. But that's what makes battle rap fans so passionate. Also, you know, it's like you know, we really, really, really love the culture, but then when we see it trying to, you know, leave us behind, not leave us behind, but like try to pivot, it's like, no, don't leave me. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's tough, man.
Yeah,
it's tough, bro.
Definitely.
Yes,
well, I think that's all we got for today.
All right, player. Well, everyone, thank you guys, man, for rocking with us. France, Titus, man. Titus, it's good seeing you again, player, man. It's good having you on the show. You know what I'm saying? Please let everyone know when they can check you out on Caffeine.
Caffeine on Tuesdays, and Tuesdays at 10:30 a.m. Sometimes 11, sometimes 8:30, sometimes 9:30. But 10:30 a.m. is this regular schedule start time. That's the regular schedule start time. My new job is not going to interfere with that, so 10:30 a.m. will be the regular start time. Thursdays, Twitter Spaces, the Thursday Twitter Spaces, LTBR Thursdays, we rebranding a little bit because y'all we let y'all get out of pocket too much. We got to bring y'all in a little bit. So the Caffeine Spaces on Thursday. I'll pull up, come talk with us, hang out with us. Me and CC on Thursdays, and yeah.
All right, man. And as always, everyone, thank you for listening. We really do appreciate you guys, and we're just so grateful that we get together and put on for everyone that tunes in, man. So log on to letstalkbattlerap.com. You know what I mean? We're trying to expand this battle rap thing. We want people to read. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, if you on the crapper, you got some time, get off Twitter. Go on Let's Talk Battle Check out our articles and follow us on all socials at LTBR Podcast. And until next week, everyone have a good one. We'll see y'all soon. Peace.